My brother defended his girlfriend after she gave my schizophrenic ex, who once chased me with a knife through our neighborhood, the time, date, and location of my baby shower, plus ultrasound photos and a detailed timeline of my pregnancy, including which hospital I'd deliver at, so I went no contact. That was 18 months ago. She's serving 5 years for conspiracy to kidnap my baby, while he sits outside churches on Sundays, hoping to glimpse the niece whose first words, first steps, and first birthday he'll never know. Jake and I split up years back after he had a major mental breakdown and ran after me through our whole neighborhood holding a large knife. They put him in a psychiatric hospital. Following this, his entire personality changed, and he developed delusions, hallucinations, and paranoia that the people were out to get him, which never went away. Also, a large part of his paranoia revolved around me controlling people around him and thinking I was trying to make him look crazy. He was let out of the hospital after some time, and I took responsibility for him. He was eventually diagnosed with schizophrenia. I did everything I could to be there for him. I went to all of his mental health appointments and stayed up at night to make sure he didn't leave the house alone. Even though we were no longer together, I cared for him. We kept talking for a little while as friends. I think the entire time we kept contact, he assumed we would get back together at some point. When I started a new relationship with my current partner, Sam, Jake had a really bad psychotic episode and threatened both of us. He accused me of cheating on him with Sam before we broke up and sent both of us intense messages threatening he would turn us into pasture for his bloodhounds. Following this, I cut all contact with Jake. The only slight connection I have to Jake is my brother's girlfriend, Jess. Her and Jake have been friends for years and have maintained their friendship. She knows the entire background to our relationship and never chose sides. Later on, I got pregnant with Sam's baby in January and was 3 months pregnant. I had just told my family and close friends about the pregnancy. I told everyone to keep it quiet as I didn't feel ready to publicly announce it. Less than 24 hours passed after telling my side of the family, and I received a phone call from Jake. He had found out I was pregnant and left a voicemail saying he would be filing for custody of the baby. Obviously, he was in a psychotic episode, so I ignored his calls and let his family know that he had reached out to me. By this point, it had been over a year since we had even spoken. He has no idea where I live or work, so I'm not worried about him showing up physically to confront me. I knew the only way he could have found out would have been through Jess. I called and confronted her about it, and she admitted to it. She was extremely apologetic and said she didn't think it would matter. She thought he would be fine with the news and said he deserved to know. I was upset by this, but I hadn't explicitly told her not to tell Jake, so it could have just been a mistake. I forgave her, but made it very clear that she shouldn't tell Jake any more information about me or the baby, and she agreed. I didn't hear anything from Jake for months. Last weekend was my baby shower. Sam and I had the baby shower together. It was more of a party than a traditional baby shower. We hired a function room at a bar and invited 80 people to come celebrate. We were all having a great time until I saw Jake standing at the bar, looking around. I managed to slip away without him seeing me and grabbed security to get him escorted out. I watched as security approached him and asked him to leave. He was furious and started yelling. He spotted me and tried running to me before being grabbed by security. He ended up biting one of them. He was yelling and demanding to talk to me before he would leave. Sam and several friends went over to him to try and talk him down, but it only escalated. He screamed at Sam, claimed that he was the baby's real dad, and that we had never really broken up. At this point, I left to hide in the ladies' room until my mom came to let me know Jake was gone. He had eventually left after a little more screaming. I was mortified and we cut the baby shower short. I couldn't stop crying. It's now been a few days and I confronted Jess. She is the only person who would have possibly told him the location and time of the baby shower. I wasn't as kind on the phone with her this time. She admitted to telling him and apologized, but said, "How could I keep this a secret from him?" I was furious and told her that